Like, you trouble. I'm like, wow, hey, name. How am I trouble? What did I do? Tell me what I did. Yes, she is trouble. Really? Really? After all this? And I thought me and you was friends. Like, I thought me and you was cool. We be uplifting each other, and this how you want to act. It be your own people.
It do, but it's all out of love. It's all out of love. All right, so we're gonna get started. Let me do my intro. All right, y'all. Welcome back to Negro in Distress, Black Girl Book Talk, the space where we speak truth to power, amplify Black stories, and remind the world that we are the culture. Today's guest is one of the authors who make you feel seen and not just seen, but held her pen is heavy with heat, healing, hood wisdom, and heart. She's the voice behind characters who love fiercely, survive boldly, and make room for softness even when the world tells them to stay hard. Whether you find her during your hot girl summer phase or your soft girl era, Oshara's stories are the kind that stick to your bones. So, baby, pour you a drink
Right.
and stretch out, and let's get into this. Oshara, welcome to the podcast. Can you tell us who you are,
Thank
what genre you write, and anything you want us to know before we get started?
Hey, Masterpiece. Hi y'all. I am Arthur Oshara. I am a best-selling author signed by T.N. Marie Publishing Company. I have penned over 45 books. My genre is urban fiction and romance, and I dabble in a little street lit, but I'm mostly a romance girly. Like, you got a few people in there getting shot, a little something like that. But I'm mostly a romance girly. That's why the majority of my books end in happily ever afters. So that's me, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a Georgia peach, Georgia State University student, majoring in criminal justice, and just out here in these Atlanta streets and pushing my pen, following my dreams.
And that's what's up. So, was it a hot girl summer or soft girl era that led you to writing? What pulled you towards the pages?
Oh, what pulled me? I mean, I've been writing since the fifth grade, so I don't know if I was having any one of those issues at that time. I've been writing since I was very, very young. I picked up
Mhm.
a pen and wrote a little smutty story about two teachers and passed it around to all my classmates. And they was reading it, so they my first audience. A lot of fifth graders. They was reading some smut, and I got my ass toe out the frame. Do you hear me? My mama was so mad. Like, where did
Wow.
you get this from? I'm like, I don't know. It was in my head.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So, as a Black woman in the game, do you feel like you've been able to disrupt Black literature in your own way, showing off all the different layers and faces of what Black stories really are?
I definitely think so because as a reader, I like love reading all genres from
Mhm.
Stephen King horror to Mary Higgins Clark. Like I and of course the greats, Wahida Clark, Eric Jerome Dickey. So I am in love with the craft and all genres of the craft. So I definitely think that I have come in and shaken some things up with my stories because they're not your basic urban or your basic street lit or your basic romance. I got a little bit of everything all in this one book. I pull from multiple genres, and I feel like that has definitely shaken some things up for my readers. And
Mhm.
thank you so much, Masterpiece.
Your women in your stories, they don't fold. They love themselves first. They make the men earn them. Why is that dynamic so important for you to showcase?
Okay, so I gotta correct you because I got some dumb bitches in my stories. We can be frank, right? I got a
Yes.
few dumb bitches in my stories, like this Thorn series. Burgundy was a dumb bitch. Okay, so I write for the women that are in multiple stages of their healing journey.
Mm,
Okay, I can't judge dumb bitches. I've been a dumb bitch myself.
mm.
So
I think we all have.
You can't say that you have it because I'm gonna say that you lying.
Yeah, yeah.
So the characters in my story, I write about strength. I write about women that have been through a lot, women that have overcome a lot. But I also write about the women that haven't got there yet.
Mm,
They have to see themselves in these stories too. Hey, Cassandra Boo, they have to see themselves in these stories too.
mm-hmm.
See that they can overcome some shit. Like,
Yeah.
so I write about the different stages of a woman.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. And
Mhm.
speaking like of the men in your books, you give us all types: tall, thick, soft, scarred.
Yeah.
Why is showing that variety of black masculinity so essential in your stories?
I got glasses. It's essential to me because love comes in all shades, all forms, all
Mhm.
sizes. So, I can't make all of my book bays hood niggas that's tatted. Some of my
Mhm.
book bays gotta be your 9 to 5 businessman. My
Mhm.
cripple with the maintenance man book bay was a maintenance
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was.
So we have
He
to
was.
show, if we're going to be realistic with our urban fiction, we have to show different layers of love. What
Mhm.
interests you or what turns you on could be completely different from what interests someone else.
Mhm.
Somebody else might love them ruggish and thuggish, and somebody else like, no, give me a white collar babe. Like,
Mm.
give me a hardworking man. Give me a businessman. So I try to have those layers in my story so that way when I do offer my catalog, I can honestly say that it's something for everybody. It's
Right.
not just a pitch or, just to get somebody to pick up the book. I can honestly say, what are you into? I got something for you. From
Right.
nerds, from to scammers, to maintenance men, to a little bit of everything, cowboys. Like
Yeah.
I write for that depth so that way I can have a little bit of something for everybody.
I like that. So, what does imagination mean to your black soul? Why is that magic sometimes something you insist on pouring into your book?
Imagination is it's essential for both writers and readers because I can remember growing up being the only child, being very lonely and
Mhm.
not really having a lot of people around me. And when I picked up a book,
Mhm.
my imagination would take me to places that were far beyond my little bedroom in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I feel like imagination is essential to the soul because picking up a book can take you from Atlanta to Florida or Atlanta to Paris. Like,
Yeah.
gives you the opportunity to be a dreamer and live your life through this character. Like, as
Mhm.
you're reading the character, you're sort of becoming the character if the writer
Fact.
did their job right.
Fact.
You're becoming that character that's somewhere in Brooklyn, New York, that's struggling, that get it out the mud, and now that it's big time queen pin,
Mhm.
you're becoming that person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is why imagination is integral. Imagination is beautiful. The fact that us as authors that we can give that to our readers, I think that gift is amazing, and I thank God for it every day.
So, we don't see enough dark skinned heroines in urban fiction. You don't shy away from them. Why is that representation non-negotiable for you?
Baby, look at me. As a dark skinned chocolate girl,
Mhm.
who child, the struggles of growing up and not really being picked, not really being accepted because of my skin color. It was so important to me to write characters that were beauty in their dark skin.
Mhm.
It's just, I love the fact that now darker skinned women are getting that shine where, we
Mhm.
have all these beautiful dark skinned girls that people are like, oh yeah, she bae or she, and that makes my inner child happy because
Yeah.
I remember we was burnt biscuits, okay? And I remember we was African booty scratchers, and you got to be young to remember those nicknames that they used to call
Mhm.
the little dark skinned girl.
Yep. Yep.
That's what we used to be. So it's important to me when I write these characters that I also write them as beautiful black women that are
Mhm.
desired
Mm.
because you gotta teach people that that's okay to desire that phenotype. Like, there are
Yeah.
multiple shades of black that
Mhm.
can be beautiful and that can be someone's type.
Yeah. I love that. So you evolved a lot. grown as a woman, as an author. How has your life evolution mirrored the way your characters move, survive, or even break?
Whew. My life definitely mirrors my characters. I would say in the way I handle things.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first book I wrote about. I wrote about a woman that had a tough childhood,
Mm-hmm.
and she was just like trying to find the answers to all of her issues and everything. But she met a friend, and her friend was literally telling her, "Girl, go to therapy."
Mm.
And there was a stigma behind it, and she was like, "Therapy? That's for crazy people like Ted Bundy. I wouldn't dare go to therapy. Like I got to keep these
Not that
problems."
money.
Yeah, but I gotta keep these problems bottled up, baby. I can't be telling no stranger my business. And that was literally me speaking through my character. Like I have had childhood trauma and
Mm.
felt like therapy was for people that are, have mental illnesses or something like that. But I can honestly say that I took my own advice as that character and literally got into therapy. And it was one of the best things that I've ever done,
Mm.
being able to heal and look at myself in the mirror and do the work, that
Mm-hmm.
the healthy work that it requires when healing, when meeting new people, from
Mm-hmm.
friendships to relationships, and being able to say like, this is where I'm fucking up at. I can't blame anybody else for that. This is my accountability.
Yeah, I think we as
So,
Black people, we are so hell bent on being against therapy because of the older generation, and
yes,
that generational just cycle just kept going. And I'm just so happy that more people are investing in themselves, because people don't realize that you have to invest in yourself to be a better person. You can't
period,
just assume that growth is just gonna happen overnight. That's why
period,
so many of the older generation are still set in their ways.
period. Say that, say that. My mama taught me that. She taught me that just because you're aging, that doesn't mean you're growing.
Mm.
Have somebody that's 50 and a damn fool, and been
Mm-hmm.
50 years stuck in their ways. They haven't grown, they haven't evolved. They
Mm-hmm.
don't they think that everything they're doing is right. They're surrounded by yes men that are egging on their behavior. And you can
Mm-hmm.
have somebody 20 that don't been through multiple life lessons, and they treat each lesson as a learning experience. And
Exactly.
they're learning, they're growing, and they literally can have more wisdom than this 50-year-old. But just because you got more years on this earth, you
Mm.
assume that you're wiser than me, but you haven't grown from
Yeah,
the lessons in your life.
a lot of people are very foolhardy and don't know how to humble themselves, because people take being humble is, oh, I have to be humble. No,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be humble with yourself. Not just give yourself grace, but you have to humble yourself. Because a lot of
Period.
times we take so much shit to heart,
Period. That's true.
and we react.
Yeah,
We don't think about it.
that's true.
So
But
let's
that's a part of doing the work. You got to do the work so that way you can.
hell yeah. That
That way you
shit
can
that shit
grow.
take time.
It does.
That's
It
that's
does.
not no overnight shit. And that's why I say a lot of times when people have these concerns about urban fiction and they talk about traumatic stuff and all this, I can't read it because it's trauma. It's not trauma in the sense that it's trauma to you. It's trauma that you ain't dealt with, that you
Yeah.
don't want to read.
Period.
And you take it out on the authors
Exactly.
themselves.
Exactly.
So let's talk about your latest book, Womb for Three.
One for
Lord,
three.
you giving us Polly. You giving us three strong personalities, one emotionally scarred woman. Where did this story come from, and how is it different from your usual style?
Ooh, okay. One for three came from, there was originally this pull for me to do a story about a young girl. Her name is Forrest. And
Mm-hmm.
it's supposed to be this young girl and the older man, which is Trio, which is who she's a surrogate for.
Mm-hmm.
But as an author, sometimes when we get to writing, our characters literally take a life of their selves. It's hard to explain, but as we writing, the story literally takes shapes in our mind, and it's also as if we're watching it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you're just a messenger, and our hands are moving, but we're watching it play out in front
Mm-hmm.
of us.
Yeah.
And so when Trio gave me his backstory about this strong brotherhood that he had,
Mm-hmm.
I could have gone with my usual route and just like, okay, made his brothers two strong supporting characters, but his brothers have trauma too, and I wanted to heal a little bit of them. So I'm like, why not pull them into this too?
And
So
pull
that
them in, you did.
oh, she pulled them in. Okay, they were in.
Whew, Lord Jesus.
This is so different from anything I have ever written. I've never done a reverse harem, never done a poly, never done a why choose. So I was
Mm,
definitely nervous because it was outside of my norm. I
mm.
didn't want to be talking about something and I didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was different for me, but those characters, they kept talking like, no, you're gonna write this story, you're gonna challenge yourself, you can do it. And I'm so glad I did it because the outpour I have received from readers,
Mm-hmm.
I've been in the top 5 pretty much since the book released. Like it's been going crazy. And I haven't been able to accomplish that with no other book that I've ever dropped. Besides, I think My Mother's Man.
I think a lot of times it's hard for authors to step outside of their norm because readers are so laser focused on a particular style that you write in. I was just talking to one of my friends about this, and I was just saying, it's unfortunate because we miss out on so many good stories and they tank because people are like, oh, I don't want to read that. I want her to go back or him to go back to the way they was writing before. That's not what I like. And then they tank y'all with these badass reviews, but they never give y'all a chance to see that y'all have like a multifaceted type pen. Whether you
Right.
write, even though I know I'm a paranormal girly to my heart,
Yes.
people don't understand you to be a reader, to be a real reader. I'm gonna be honest. To be a real reader is to be well rounded.
Period.
I'm not taking away from people who just want to stick with whatever genre you used to, but to be a true hardcore reader is to be well rounded. And this is my opinion before one of you bitches get on here and try to say some shit. This is just my opinion. Because when you
No
stay,
lie, so
but if they stay in the same genre, how they going to know a good book? You know what I'm saying?
that's
Even in urban fiction, there's different tropes within it, and they want y'all to stick with one trope.
that's
One
true.
trope.
That's true. That's true.
They,
And like you said, it'll literally it'll box an author in. It'll make
mhm,
you feel like I'm not even gonna bother writing and trying to step outside of my box because I know what my readers want. And then
mhm.
you'll keep penning the same story and then they'll complain about that too. They'll say all of your stories are the same. It's just a different name in a different city. Your stories are the same, but it's like you're not giving me room to grow. How do you expect me to grow if you leave a bad review on a story that's a little outside of what my normal thing is?
Mm-hmm. And they get to
The
make it.
first time, Storm, that I ever considered dropping my pen, it was with my series "Smin by Nerd Spawn. Now that series, yeah, it's a 3-part series. No, actually, it's a 2-part, and the ending of it is not a happily ever after. When I
Mm,
tell you those readers ripped me to shreds, I called my publisher crying like I'm done. I tried. Maybe this isn't for me. They ripped me to shreds, and none of them said this is a terrible story. What
mm-hmm.
they said was, "How dare you kill off a main character? How dare you not give us a happily ever after?" But it's like if I have you this invested, that means I did my job right. But
And
they ripped me to shreds behind that.
I don't think people understand. Like, not every book is a happily ever after. Some people just need to understand. I understand. Okay. Some people like escapism just way too much. They like
Period.
it too much. And I get that you want to escape in a book. Sometimes when you escape in a book, it's not a happily ever after. Shit, hell, life ain't always a happily ever after. And I
That
know
was my thing.
I
Exactly.
and I know people be like, oh, but it's fiction. Okay. Fiction has realism. Especially when you're talking about urban fiction. A lot of motherfuckers done been through that shit. A lot
Period.
of stories, whether it just came out of somebody's imagination, a lot of people been through a lot of that shit. So it hits
Period.
home for them. And for
Period.
people to expect a happily ever after always,
Always.
you're delusional.
And that really boxed me in to where when I did pick up my pen, I was like, well, when I did pick it back up, I was like, well, I'm just gonna get them happily ever afters, and that limits me, like we were just talking about. That limits me as an author. I can't create a different story or something in depth
Mm.
because you're gonna want only this one type of thing. You're gonna want everything to end happy. So I can't just really flex my creative muscle and give you some shit that's gonna leave you stuck, have you thinking for days because you only want this certain thing.
Yeah, yeah, because that's just like when y'all write male characters. Y'all want them to love on these women, right? But y'all get mad when they're assholes. I could tell you
Period.
about 15 motherfuckers that I know are they cool as hell in relationships, but they're assholes.
In real life.
They're just assholes. That's just how they are. Once again, I get fiction is supposed to be fiction, but fiction has realism to it, whether you want to agree with that or not.
It has to. It has to. And then that's how it's a double-edged sword. Because if
Mm,
you make the fiction too unrealistic, then that's a problem too.
mm,
So
mm.
it's like I have a review on Womb for Three right now where somebody said, I like the writing style, but the story is just too unrealistic for it to be real.
That is a
And I'm
question.
like, it's fiction. Don't you want to escape? What do you want from me?
That is a question I'm about to ask you in a few seconds.
Hey, hey, hey.
Um, let's talk about Forrest. So Forrest went through it, mentally, physically. Yet those men, Trio, and Loco. Did I say it right?
Yes, yes, those
Brought
three brothers.
something, brought something to her healing in
Yes.
herself. Can you break down the symbolism of each man and how they helped her find herself again?
Definitely. Okay, we got the three brothers. We have Trio, we have Loco, and we have Deli. Trio is the oldest brother. He is the brother that originally picked Forrest to be his surrogate. So he
Mm,
is the one he's the brother that brought Forrest to the compound to even be introduced to his brothers.
mm-hmm,
To me, Trio represents stability. He
mm,
represents that strong male figure that Forrest was lacking because her father resented her for her mother's death. Her
mm,
mother died while in childbirth.
mm-hmm,
And so her father left Forrest off on his sister, which was her aunt, and
mm,
said, you raise her. I don't want to deal with her.
mm, mm,
So
mm,
He represented stability. He
mm-hmm,
represented that strong male figure in her life that was, I got you, like
mm,
that father that you need. That's what
mm,
she found in him. Now, when he let her down because she placed him on too high of a pedestal, when
mm,
he let her down, she went to his brother Loco, which is the middle brother. Loco represents that repressed sexual desire. So
mm-hmm,
that's why Loco is the second trimester of her pregnancy.
mm-hmm,
And that's why it's the most sex in the book is in Loco's chapter. Not
mm-hmm,
only because during this time with my research, I found that during this time, that's when pregnant women are the horniest.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
During this second trimester. He's the middle brother. So he's the second brother. So
mm-hmm,
he was number two for a reason. He
mm-hmm,
came at a time when she wasn't really worried about healing. She just wanted to get her freak on. She just wanted to have as much sex as possible. She was repressed and he helped her let that shit out. Like, you can be your freakiest self, no judgment. I'm gonna take care of you and we good. So he was the symbolist. He represented that.
mm-hmm.
Deli, the youngest brother, third trimester, when you over that shit and you've been pregnant for 9 months and you want to rest and you want to relax your mind and you've been through a lot of shit and you ready for it to be eviction day.
Mm-hmm.
Deli is the last brother. He was the last child that his parents had. He's the youngest brother and he's the last trimester before she actually delivers the baby.
Mm-hmm.
He represents healing. And the most powerful scene to me in the book, a scene I actually cried writing, was when Deli took Forrest to the spring, which was one of his hideaway places, from when he was a child.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a waterfall and there was a spring and he brought her in the spring and she was like, I don't know what to do here. And he said, release it.
Mm.
You've been carrying a burden that's not even yours. You've been carrying being disliked by your own father because of the death of your mother. You've been carrying not being liked by your mother's family because of the death of your mother. You've been carrying walking around on eggshells because you live with your aunt, but you sort of know that they don't want you there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you've been carrying being sort of bullied by your older cousin, but because she's your aunt's biological daughter, you just had to deal with it because where else were you going to go? Who else can you have? You've been
Mm-hmm.
carrying so much. Release it. This is the place where you release it.
Mm.
And
Mm.
so Deli is that brother. That's the healing. He represents healing. Deli and her didn't have sex not one time, and that was not a mistake. That was intentional because I wanted to show that it wasn't about what he could take from her like the other brothers. The first brother, it was about you giving me a baby. The second brother was about the sex, but with Deli, it was about him pouring into her. He didn't want anything from her.
Mm. That's spiritual. When somebody says, I don't want a man to physically make love to me, I want them to make love to me mentally. That's what that is. That's
Mm-hmm.
what, and that's the deepest type of sexual intercourse known to man.
Intimacy. Right.
I'm just saying.
Right.
So, um,
Period.
your stories go there. They still feel real. How do you keep your fiction from being unrealistic while letting the plot explore big emotional truths?
Um, how do I keep it from going too far into fantasy
Mm-hmm.
and not being unreal? Um, I don't know how to dial it back because I am also a fantasy reader, just like you. I love me a good fantasy book.
Man.
And so it's easy to go there and get lost in it. But I think I just remind myself, I had to pull myself back, and also with the help of my test readers, because my test readers they'll stop me in a minute and be like, that last chapter you just sent me too far off the grid, pop, pull it back. So it's important, like I was speaking about earlier, to have people around you that are going to be honest with you. It's
Mm-hmm.
important to have people around you that's going to check you and be like, I'm not just gonna kiss your ass and say, "Yep, it's good, girl.
Mm-hmm.
You did that." No, hell no. I'm gonna say, "Now you know what? You need to go back because it
Mm-hmm.
ain't nowhere in the world these motherfuckers walking down the street and a unicorn came out the sidewalk. This ain't that. This ain't that genre, girl. Pull it back a little bit. Pull it back." So I think that's one of the major things, having people around you that are going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Where you get so deep into your imagination and that deep into your bag that you're not even, really paying attention. That is important to have those
Mm-hmm.
people around you that can pull you back.
So let's talk about those reviews.
Mm,
Reviews, be real with me now.
okay.
Do you read the bad ones or do you keep your eyes on the good ones? Do they help or hurt your process?
I'm gonna keep it all the way 1K. Yes, I read the reviews. I read every review.
Mm.
Every single last one of them. Do they hurt my pride? Hell yes. They be hurt my feelings so bad. I made a post. I made a post and it was like, look, y'all get the fuck off me because y'all be forgetting that we human. And we was like, and then I deleted it. I said, no, I'm not gonna post this. Because that'll be giving too much energy to the people, to the handful of people that got some fucked up to say over the majority of the people that's saying this book is amazing. Oh, it had me hooked from the first page. One girl said, girl, I went to a family reunion and had your book. I ain't mingle with nobody. I was reading this
Mm.
book the whole damn time. I ain't talked to cousin Gerald and little sister Luce. I ain't talked to no damn body. I was reading this book. So hearing stuff like that will make you say, why am I focusing on the negative parts when there's so
Mm.
many people that have amazing things to say?
I
And then
understand
on
that.
the flip side, another reason why I read the reviews because criticism. Not everybody is being an asshole. Sometimes those reviews are meant to help you as an author. They meant to help you grow. They meant to help you. Okay, well the character wasn't developed enough. Okay, on my next book, I'm gonna make sure I give them a few more details, breaking down this character and their backstory. Reviews also help you grow.
Mm. That is true.
So
That's true.
it's both. I can honestly say it's a little bit of both.
Because some of y'all are assholes.
They
Some of
are.
y'all be. Yeah, some of y'all assholes. Like y'all be writing reviews. I be looking at some of the stuff that
I
y'all be
don't like
saying.
the ones that I don't like is when they give you terrible reviews and then they literally break down the entire plot under the review, tell everything that happened. You just gonna spoil it for the next person, okay? You're gonna make them not even want to pick the book up because you're gonna tell everything,
Mm,
and then you're gonna give me a bad review. But I had you this enthralled in my world to where you read the entire thing. So why I need a bad review? Evidently, I did something right.
that is true.
Had you gone, baby? Like,
That is true. Some people out here and they make these videos as well
period.
about bad books. Girl, if y'all don't stop reading these damn books, the fuck?
Exactly. I think it's just being a human being, like realizing that this ain't a machine that wrote this. This is a person that sat here for hours, fingers cramped up, and poured their heart into it. I would honestly rather, if you don't like it and you don't have nothing positive to say,
Mm-hmm.
DNF it and keep it to yourself.
I
You
mean,
don't have to
that would
yell
be
to the world, "Hey world, I DNF! Hey world, I DNF!" Girl,
that
don't
would
you
be
read that? You gonna DNF? Like,
that would be smart.
why?
That would be smart. But
Exactly.
people want attention and they like to rage bait, so there's that. So let's get into the system of the literary system. The literary world is built on classism, racism, and so much quiet censorship when it comes to Black authors. How do you stay true to yourself in a space that sometimes don't want us to exist?
Whew. I stay true to myself by looking. I try to be more so of a glass half full type of girl. And so when I see certain authors breaking barriers like Jacquel,
Mm-hmm.
hitting number one, and it's just it gives me hope that even when they try to censor us, our readers are going hard. Y'all can't deny the numbers. What
Mm,
they say, lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. So I focus on the positive, and I use those times where I see people that write like I write and people that are in the spaces that I'm in. I use their winning season as motivation for me.
mm,
I
mm,
was watching an interview with Niecy Nash, and she was just saying about how I forgot exactly who it was, but one of her friends always wanted the talk show, and she caught the talk show before her friend got the talk show. But she was like, the entire time that she got it, her friend was big up in her. She was like, "Congratulations, girl! Let me put you on to this and put you on to that. I can't wait. I get my time." It wasn't no negative energy or no hating. It was positive energy and being happy for someone else in their winning season. And then lo and behold, when it didn't work out for her, her friend ended up getting a talk show.
mm, mm,
So
mm.
it's just the answer to that question is being in a literary space that isn't really designed for urban fiction authors. I combat that with positivity. I combat that with still writing, keeping my pen going, keeping these stories going for the readers that are waiting. I have readers that love my work,
Yeah.
and those are the people I want to please. All five of y'all. I love y'all. Y'all my
Yeah.
cousins. Do y'all want something from the stove? Like, seriously, like I write for those people, man. I write for those people. I'm gonna keep these books coming for those people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna block out the negativity, and I'm gonna block out the numbers and the literary, like the censorship and all that. That's how I block that out by just all five name. That's how I block that out by keeping my eye on the goal. I'm not gonna let
Mm-hmm.
y'all distract me and let me take my eyes off the people that are supporting me and me giving them what they want from me, and that's these dope ass stories.
So, what makes a story flow for you? Like, what makes you stay up writing at 3 a.m. because it's just clicking?
Oh, okay. What makes a story flow? Definitely some spicy sex scenes.
Why? Jesus.
I'm trying to be serious, Naima, but I'm not serious. I'm so unserious. Definitely a spicy sex scene will have me up. Like, I can't stop now, baby. I'm in it. I'm in the thick of it. My fiance came home and he was like, "Why you looking like that?" I'm at my laptop going. He like, why are you looking like, don't distract me right now. I'm in it right now. I need you to leave me alone. But that's what keeps me going. When I got a fire ass plot and it's unfolding in my mind, sometimes it'll be unfolding quicker than my fingers can move.
Mm.
I feel like that's the importance of having test readers and editors and all that junk. Cause they like, girl, you misspell words. I'm like, look, I ain't no dumb bitch. I was into it. Okay. You just fix it.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Keeping it all the way real. But I think that's what keeps me up at 3 in the morning, fingers cramped up, fingers like this girl, and I'm still trying to match the damn key. Like,
Oh
this
my
shit is
God.
here. I gotta get this shit out. Fingers
You
be
don't
still,
write it
I
down
don't
on
want to
like a
move.
pad or anything like that?
What?
You don't write it down on a pad or anything like that?
Mm-mm.
Lord.
No. I type it and these fingers be locking, baby. But when that story is unfolding in my mind, I gotta keep it coming. I can't stop until
Mm.
it's on the page.
So we see a lot of like clicks and fake support in this space, mean girl energy. How do you stay positive, not getting sucked into that low vibrational mess?
Oh, you ain't right. You ain't right. Cause you be asking the stuff you know you don't need to be asking. You ain't right. You ain't right. Oh, I'm keeping all the way real with you. It's the cliquish stuff in the industry. It definitely be having me. It be having me down bad. I ain't gonna lie. It definitely hurts my feelings because growing up, I was never the popular girl. I was always the girl that had a book in her hand and was just off to the side, sitting by herself.
Mm,
So it's like I'm used to being that girl. I'm very introverted. I
mhm,
hardly really show my personality. And so seeing all of the cliquish behavior, it just reminds me a lot of like high school when these people over here and these people over here. And it's just like some of us, okay, we peaked in high school. I got it. But the majority of the writers in this industry are so fucking dope.
mhm.
So, like I was saying earlier, like I focus on the people that receive me lovingly.
Yeah.
That's how I come back there. When I
Mhm,
give you my energy and I'm, hey girl, and I'm kicking it and all that, and you stiff arm or use some shit, okay, I got you. I would literally love you from a distance and just leave it at that. But I'm not
mhm,
gonna waste my time. And a lot of people say, oh, I match energy. Why the fuck I'm gonna match some fucked up energy and fuck up my day? And I'm out riding on this high and I gotta match your energy, so I gotta knock myself down. Like, no, I
mhm.
don't want that stank coochie energy. You keep it. That's what it is. It's stank coochie energy. So you keep it. I'm gonna vibe with the people that vibe with me, the people that are open, the people that are giving love, that are loving, that are welcoming. Those are the people I vibe with. And I can honestly say I've met more of those authors than the latter. We keeping it real. I don't met the latter. I don't met the authors that are very catty, that are very, you can't sit with us, that are very,
Mhm,
nasty and standoffish. Like, I've met those people. And
mhm,
I speak, I show up authentically as myself online and offline. And I go find somebody. I do like this right here, and I go find somebody that's got the vibes. Like, bitch, what the vibes? Like, I'm here for the vibes,
yeah.
okay? And I love me some UAA. I'm gonna go find somebody and I'm gonna get up with them and we're gonna be in the corner twerking, having us a time. And you just be over there looking mad and being stank. That's on you. But we're gonna have us a time.
Lord Jesus. All right. So now talk to me about goals. Like, not the ones you have written in stone, but the ones you whisper to the universe. Where are you manifesting for your author career?
Oh man. Those ones that I feel like are, there's no way that's possible. And then I have to remind myself that God and the universe, they ain't on a budget. Those goals. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
New York Times bestseller, that Kennedy Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
that book tour where you got, people lined up waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
that the Good Morning America, the
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, girl, don't make me cry. Don't make me cry because
Don't get
yeah.
on here crying, girl.
Girl, look, I'm a very emotional Virgo, okay? And
Oh
talking
God.
about those goals puts me in a very sensitive space, and I literally have chills. Those the Good Morning America, the my God, the sold out pre-orders, like even okay, we're gonna dial it down. We're gonna dial it down. In Miami, let
Mm-hmm.
me explain to you how Jaquel had the readers lined up. Do you understand me?
Mm-hmm.
There was a line at her table the entire time, and I said, that is fucking goals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So even just that, being so loved in this space, your gift being so coveted to where people are waiting for you to drop a book. People are waiting in line, standing for 2 hours, waiting to get your book in their hand. That is goals. You hear
Yeah.
me, universe? Do you hear me? Girl, you gotta talk to it. You gotta let it know. Do you
You
hear
have
me,
to.
universe?
You have to give yourself affirmation. You have to let the universe know with your whole chest what you want. Now, is it going to be on the time that you want it? Probably not. It's going to be on the
Probably
time when you need it. And
not.
sometimes we don't even know when we need it. We just assume we need it at that particular time, but we really don't because we're
Preach.
not ready for it.
Preach. It's gonna come when I'm ready for it. It's gonna come at that time. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
AA, you have to speak it. You have to put it in the universe. Like I said, sometimes we try to dream small because we be like, that's too unrealistic. Ain't nowhere. But God ain't on no budget, baby. He's not on no budget. Like
Right.
this time next year, that could literally be possible.
It
So I
is. I keep saying y'all authors are one book away from New York Times bestselling list.
yes.
Y'all, you're one book. It could be one book that you think is the worst book you ever written, but fuck, it done set it off for you.
Period.
So, what advice would you give to new authors coming into this space, especially other Black women who might feel unseen or unsure?
I would tell them to write the book. I would tell them to start. It's not going to be perfect when you start. Nobody starts perfect at anything.
Mm-hmm.
Write the book. My very first book was called We See What We Want. I
Mm-hmm.
self published it. I made $2 off of it. And it's still on Amazon right now. And that was the very first book that I've ever written and published.
Mm-hmm.
And the reviews under it are like two of the reviews are from family members, and one of the reviews is from like an old coworker.
Yeah.
I would tell you to write it because 9 years later, I have a book that's sitting at 300 reviews, and these are from people that I don't know,
Mm.
not family members, not a damn coworker. So you don't know what you can do until you do it. Write it. It's gonna suck. It's gonna fit. It's not gonna be good. Your very first book, I promise you, it ain't gonna be good. The first time Kobe shot a basketball, I'm probably sure it didn't go in. Like I'm sure it didn't go through the hoop, but you just do it. Do it scared. Literally, the thing that inspired me to even write that book, I lost a cousin.
Mm.
My cousin Chris, rest in peace, Chris. He was in a car accident.
Mm.
And at that time I was working. I was working for Superior Court. I I had a degree, criminal justice degree, but I still had always wanted to write.
Mm.
And my cousin Diane, I think it's in my Arthur forward. That book is I wrote it in my Arthur forward, like this one for you, cuz exactly you got to do it scared. I released that book because I felt like if I were to die tomorrow, would I be satisfied with the fact that I wanted to do this and I didn't do it?
Mm.
Even if it wasn't good, would I be okay with the fact that I wanted to do something and I didn't even do it? I didn't want to have any regrets or any what ifs like, damn, I wanted to try it, but I was just too scared because I didn't think it was going to take off. Like, no, do it scared.
Yeah. The graveyard is filled with people with regrets.
Period. Say that.
I'm just saying. Better do it
Say
now.
that.
We only got one life. So,
Period.
from the advice you just gave, hold on, from the advice you just gave your to these new authors or anyone that wanted to come into the literary world, what advice would you give yourself for your future?
My future self. Look here, bitch. Talking to my future self. You got to be mean to your future self because your future self be thinking you a punk. So you got to be mean to your future self. Look here, bitch. Look here, future Oshara, little
Oh
bitch.
God.
If it don't scare you and dream big enough, period, period. I would tell myself, keep them books coming, stay consistent. I'm on a streak where I'm the most consistent now that I've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
So I would tell my future self that it's gonna pay off. Your goals, everything you want, is feasible. It's at your fingertips. It's gonna pay off. And all them rooms that you want to sit in, you're gonna be in those rooms because it's meant for you to be in those rooms. Keep
Facts.
writing and keep going, baby.
Facts. Facts. So, am I gonna get a paranormal?
I was just telling the last person I was on the interview with that is what I am afraid to do. I'm afraid to write. As much as I love different genres, I'm afraid to write it. But you are going to get one because I can't give the advice and be too scared to live by it. So I'm gonna do it scared. It might suck, and what I don't
I'm
want
saying that because it might not. Cause
so,
no.
and what you better not do is get on this here podcast and be holding the book up and be like, look, y'all, she did it. This shit was trash. Like,
You ain't never got to worry about Storm ever saying nothing like that. Y'all would never know if I thought your book was trash. Never. Unless I hate your ass. But
right, like, I was fucking
but
with.
y'all would never know. Y'all would never know.
I'm
So
gonna do it. I'm gonna give it to you, definitely. I promise you I'm going to do it. I'm gonna step outside my comfort zone and
give us some in the Lady Creole voice, give us some vigors. Give us some I don't know, something. Shit. So what's next for you? Like anything we should be watching out for that you coming out with down the pipeline for us this year or next year?
definitely. Next up, I got two more events coming. Definitely the gyms. Are you coming to the gyms in August? I mean in July in
I'm
Atlanta?
podcasting.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm podcasting there.
Okay, so no, you will be there.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, we
Yeah.
about to have a time, baby. We
Yeah.
had a time. Let me tell y'all how terrible Storm is. She was like, "Oh, you ain't drinking," when we was just at the Boozy Book Tour. I wasn't drinking because I was trying to stay professional because I know when I have a little drink, I get a little too lit. She like, "Oh, you ain't drinking? How about she don't went, got me a drink, brought it back?" And I'm like, you know what? You don't want me to act right. You don't want me to be professional with these people.
Hey, whoa, 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 because your fiance, he was whoa, whoa, whoa.
Exactly. He trifling. And you trifling too. Because
Hey,
I was trying to be on my best behavior. And y'all was like, drink this, drink this. I'm like, no, I'm drinking
it's
Red
called the
Bull.
Boozy Book Tour.
It's
What
true.
the hell? You're supposed to.
But I'm still an Arthur. And I gotta maintain a certain level of professionalism. So I ain't want to get too turned and be in that twerking.
Hold up. One thing about the Boozy Book Tour, you're supposed to unleash your inner whatever. Because that's what the readers want to see. They want to see your authentic self. So you supposed to drink, have a good time. You can still sell books and still have a little sip sip. It don't matter. It don't matter. Who gonna judge you?
Right. In a room full of people at a Boozy Book Tour. You ain't in the right place. But yes, back to the question. That is what's next for me. The gym awards definitely. And in September, I'm going to be in Alabama.
What's happening in
Uh,
Alabama?
there's going to be another book event. Kennedy Ryan will actually be at this event. It's not in my tongue right now, but it's a I can't remember the name of it. Shit. But yeah, I'm one of the attending authors at that event, and that's going to be in Alabama. That's going to be in September. So
Mm,
those are my last two events, I think, for this year.
mm.
As far as writing, what's next for me? definitely I've been getting a lot of requests for some spin-offs for Room for Three. A lot of
Yeah.
people want the brothers their books, so I'm definitely working on that. That will be next up for me. We're working on a project at the gym's HBCU project, so we're all going to be dropping that at the gym. So that's definitely next up for me. I have a group project with my publishing company, TMP. It's like a cigars and sundresses, sort of like sugar daddy type young girl project coming up. So that's coming up next for me. And so yeah, I got a few more events for this year, so my readers can come out and see me. And I got some more books coming down the pipeline. I'm gonna keep them books coming for y'all.
So a question was, what books should you start out with when you look at your catalog? What books should a new reader start out with to read?
Oh, that's hard. That's like asking a mother, which one of your kids do you think would be a best representation of your parenting style?
Well, it was in the comments. She wants to know.
I see you. I would say definitely no problem. Definitely. Thank you for the interest, of course. I would say creeping with the maintenance man.
Lord.
For his kids, exactly. And then those be the ones that have then they judging you like you a shitty mama because but yes, baby, I would definitely say start out with creeping with the maintenance man.
Hold that book up.
Standalones.
Hold that book up so she can see it. That's the book. She said start out right there. Your ass gonna be on a wild ass
You can
ride.
slide on over here too. This country loving from a Mississippi cowboy. This is my cowboy romance.
I like night and
I
day.
have over 45 books. I got plenty to hold you. All of my series are completed. I have standalones. I have
You got night and
novellas.
day?
Hmm?
You got the one night and day?
Night and Day, I don't have it sitting right here with me, but yeah, that's
That's
a
my
good one
favorite
too.
one.
You like really?
That was my favorite one.
Period. That's crazy. Okay, so that was your favorite. Good
Mm-hmm.
to know. Definitely
I did a
check
review
out
on
Night and
it.
Day. You did, but you did Crippin' too.
I did both. I didn't. I read Night and Day first, and I did a review, and then I did Creeping with the Maintenance Man.
Yeah, you did. Definitely
See,
did.
see.
I'm sorry. But yes, you can order physical copies of my books from my website, arthurOshara.com. I don't have anything on back order. So if it's on the website, that means I have it. And that means that it will ship the next day. I'm very, very big on shipping the next day because I have read readers going through it with authors and I bought this and they never gave me my money. I mean, they never sent my product and I had to dispute it with the bank and I never want to be that author. My reputation is everything to me in this industry. So I never want to be that Arthur.
I just want to say this. Make sure you know the author and you've seen people with that merch because there are some scammers out here. There are some scammers that either send you an empty box or they'll send you nothing and give
Don't
you
send you a
excuses.
thing.
So
Period. And they'll
be
keep saying,
careful.
"Oh, next month you'll get it. Next month, exactly." Tarsh, you receive your orders in 2 business days. I do not play about my orders. I ship next day. If you buy it before 6 p.m., then it'll go out the very next day. And the only way it don't is if you order like on a Saturday and I can't ship it on that Sunday. But if the post office is open that next day, it's getting shipped next day. I don't play with people merchandise. I am an Amazon Prime person, and I be wanting my shit to come as quick as it leave my bank account. That's how quick I be wanting to get my fucking merchandise. So
And
I don't play with nobody's stuff.
also give authors grace because a lot of authors have 9 to 5s. Some of them are full-time authors, but they have families.
That's
Some
true.
have illnesses.
That's
Give
true.
them grace when they tell you, they sending you a book box or whatever.
Mhm.
Sometimes there's a lot of people ordering those book boxes, so
That's
it
true.
may take a couple of months for you to get it. But give them
That's true.
grace. That shit
That
don't
is
happen overnight because they gotta order all that shit. That's
all
why
the
they
stuff to
have
go in it.
pre-orders.
That's true. That's true. But
That's
even personally, I just did a book box. I just did
I
pre-orders
hate that I
for a
missed
book
that.
box. Right. But I literally said these book boxes are going to ship on May 23rd. That is the day that these book boxes are shipping. I don't give a damn if it's storming outside. I'll be standing in the post office in the rain. They're shipping on that day. So
Mm.
as both a consumer and a business owner, you have to see it from both sides. Yes, I want to give you grace, but I also want communication. I also want
Girl,
you
you
to keep
y'all
me
be
honest with
communicating with a
me.
lot of these readers, and they
Not
still
working.
have they still act the ass.
Period. No,
I be
you
looking
don't.
at some of y'all groups, and I be like, who is she talking
It's
to?
tough. It's tough. It's tough out here. But then you still have to remain professional because it's like the minute you go off or something like that, then there goes your reputation. And then you
Mm.
got people in your, oh, I'll never read a book by her. I don't give a damn who said I'll never read a book by her. She said what? They'd be so ready to write you off and say, I'll never read a book by you because you said this or said that. But it's like you're not paying attention to what poked me and made me say that or what made
Mm.
me react that way. That don't matter. You just gonna say, fuck this person. I'll never read a book by her because of what somebody else said or what somebody else did. So y'all do better. Do better with that. Okay. And if you feel hit, then the message is for you. Do better. Make sure that you're not judging people based on what other people are saying. Get your own review on people. I don't know who this for. Sometimes God will speak through you and it just be a message you need to hear. Get your own review of people before you be ready to write somebody off because of what they're going through with another person. Okay? What there's somebody else experience with a person might not be your same experience.
Well, with me, I don't give a damn what the fuck y'all think about me. I'm gonna be me regardless. Fuck y'all. So if you don't like me, oh well. Guess what?
Well, we don't have that.
I'm still
We
going to
don't
sleep
have
and
that.
drool at night. You hard as hell, and not think
Period.
about you. I
With
will
the
be
fan
dreaming
on,
happy dreams. I don't give a shit.
the fan will be on. But no, no, it's as authors, we aren't really allowed to have that mindset because we have a product
Mm-hmm.
and we
Mm-hmm.
want people to buy that product. And
Mm-hmm.
so if a reader ain't reading, then you writing books for the air.
Mm. Facts. Facts. Facts.
So, you definitely want to keep your face card good in the industry. You want to keep your name good. You want to keep your brand associated with positivity, with the
Yeah.
fact you're gonna show up, with the fact that you ain't gonna leave your people hanging, that they treat your pockets like they own, they ain't gonna just have you waiting for months and all this shit never get your reputation is everything. Your face card is everything. And so I take my reputation very, very seriously.
I appreciate that, Proverbs. I appreciate that. So you got merch. You have shirts.
Yes.
You have so what can folks find with your books? How can folks find your books? And is there merch we need to add to the cart like right now?
Definitely. I am the owner of Bad Bitches Reads Books. It is my brand. It is trademarked. I have merch, t-shirts, I have mugs, I have little beanie hats with Bad Bitches Read Books because they do. It is my personal author brand that my readers love because you can be a baddie and love to read, and that doesn't necessarily say that you love my books. You can, hey Arthur Shelley, you can be a baddie and love anybody's books, but you still love
Mhm.
to read, and that's all that matters. That you're reading something.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we've taken the stigma away from reading gotta be, oh, you lame or you not a baddie or something like that because you read. So that is why I have that merch and why that slogan is so near to my heart. You can
Yeah.
order though that merch from my website, badbitchesreadbooks.net.
Mm.
As for my books, my paperback books, they come directly from me. The merch comes from a website. It has its own, website set up in its own what's the word I'm looking for, warehouse. And so
Mhm.
that may come a little longer.
Mhm.
But the books, the paperback books, they come directly from me because I want to sign them personally, put you little cute messages in it, add in pins and keychains and all the other little cutesy stuff. So to order my books, book boxes, things like that, you will get
Mhm.
those from arthuroshara.com. Again, nothing is on back order. If it's there, I have it. You're gonna order it and you're gonna get it. It's gonna ship off the next day, so you'll be getting it within a few, maybe 3 to 4 business days type situation.
Yeah.
As far as my merch, Bad Bitches Read Books, that will take you longer to get, but you will receive tracking numbers immediately. There will be constant communication because that shop is set up personally as its own, coming from the warehouse, so everything can be brand new and everything can run smoothly.
Okay.
So,
So
2 websites, badbitchesreadbooks.net for the merch and arthurshara.com for the books.
drop your socials.
Okay. My Facebook is Arthur Oshara. Yeah, that's my Facebook name, Arthur Oshara. TikTok, Arthuress Oshara, and my Instagram is _ Arthuress Oshara.
Okay. So we're gonna get out of here. Before I do these housekeeping, Jesus Christ, announcements. But I just want to say, y'all, listen up. What Oshara's doing ain't just storytelling, it's restoration. Her work is reclaiming softness, showing the grit, and reminding us that love is in all its forms, especially self love. It's revolutionary. Make sure you read Womb for Three, support her, follow her, buy her books, wear her merch. And if you're a writer listening today, let this be your sign. Your story is needed too.
Definitely.
This has been Negro in Distress, Black Girl Book Talk. Until next time, keep your mind open, your heart guarded, and your pen sharp. Stay loved, stay loud, and stay black on purpose.